Good Thursday morning and happy Thanksgiving. And God, I do thank you for the opportunity just to say, God, I thank you. I got up this morning. It was about 5 o'clock. I sat on the edge of the bed and I fought with myself about getting up and getting out. But I went ahead and I pushed forward. And I started my day. At about, I want to say about 7 this morning, I met a young man that I have never seen before in my life. And when I met him, I looked at him and then I realized something wasn't right. So I asked a question. And that question was a very simple question. Son, are you okay? I said, I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm just asking a question because you don't have to tell me anything. The young man, who happens to be 21 years old, he said, no, sir, I'm dealing with some things. I said, okay. So I took it upon myself to give my time. And he gave his time. I said, talk to me. So he started talking. And a reminder, I told him he didn't have to go into details about what was going on, but just, I'm here. And he started talking and he said to me, he said, my mom put me out. I said, okay. And I took it upon myself by allowing myself to be led instead of just forcing a conversation. And I shared with him a post that I did on yesterday concerning where we are. Has everything to do with the decisions we made up until the point we got here. And so I shared that with him. And it resonated. I expressed to him concerning the situation with his mom. I didn't go to the point of blaming, shaming, or taking sides. I reminded him again of that post. I have no idea what happened to get this young man and his mother to that point. I will say this. The time that I had my mom, I can say with conviction, if I didn't have anybody I could depend on, I had her. I told the young man, I said, as a parent and a grandparent, I don't see myself allowing that to be the decision that I make. But I still don't know how you got here. So he decided he said, I want to talk. I want to share. I said, the floor is yours. And he went to talking, and I'm not going to go into detail. But after he got everything out, I said to the young man, I said, life teaches lessons. And when life starts teaching lessons, you're required to learn the lesson before you're taught the next lesson. And if you don't get it, it's going to be repeated. He said, that makes sense. He said, because I can't seem to get it together. I said, yeah, it's not the fact that you're not getting it together. I said, because you're allowing yourself to feel defeated. I said, it's the fact that you hadn't gotten the lesson. I said, but once you get the lesson, you'll be able to move on to the next phase. He said, I get that. Good. We went further into the conversation, and we talked about a few more different things. And I chose to apologize for giving him something that maybe he didn't ask me for. And this young man said to me, he said, Mr. Craig, I want to thank you. I said, okay. He said, you have no idea how much better I feel after just having an opportunity to talk to you about this. I said, what you just dealt with was what's known as the release. I said, you got rid of it. I said, and that's a good thing. I said, because this is how stress is created. You're holding on to things and you're carrying these things and you can't figure out a way to get rid of it. I said, so you released it to me. I said, now here's what I'm going to do for you. We're going to go our separate ways. But the heaviest part of what you shared, I'm going to take that with me. But I want you to hold on to the lighter parts of it so that you will have something to remember and move forward by learning. I asked him a question. I said, where are you headed? He told me, he said he was going to a friend. Now remember, this youngster's 21 years old. Says friend, said he can stay there. I said, good. I said, it's a safe place. He said it is. I said, good. I said, here's what I want you to do. I said, you just got put out of a place. Happened to be your mother's place. I said, even though you're 21, I want this to be a part of this lesson. Put yourself in a place where you can't be put out of anything else unless you don't do what you're supposed to do by paying your bills. It's time to you to become the adult that you have to be. So you're going to be fine if you choose to be fine. You're going to be okay if you choose to be okay. This is just an obstacle. A young man said to me, he thanked me again. I remember 21 years old. He said, I didn't know what my next move was going to be. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I'm thanking you for taking the time to talk to me, because now I feel like I can move forward. I said, thank you for giving me purpose on this day. I wished him well. And as I went on my way, he went on his way, I started thinking to myself, not saying what he said to me, but this is what I felt in my heart. I think I possibly saved that young man's life for at least one more day. I don't know what tomorrow may bring. And again, this is not what he told me. This is what I felt, because I took the time to listen to him and I shared. But I also told him concerning what he was dealing with. he shared it with me, and I gave him what I felt was the appropriate thing. I didn't get into, based on his parent, his mother, she was wrong, she was right. That's not what I needed to do. Because again, her decision was based on her decision, and whatever it is that has gone on between them, I don't know all that. But I'll say this, that as I sat on the side of that bed this morning, and I fought with myself about getting up and just getting out there, I had somewhere I was supposed to be, and I made it. And purpose was served. So if you don't take anything else from what I've just shared, and if you hung out with me through the whole thing, thank you. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. Just do what you can to be available, especially to the ones that need you and they can't do anything for themselves. And I didn't do anything special. I was just available. Happy Thanksgiving.